Live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lost voice state.
Aqui no meu país, roubar é uma ciência. Ser de esquerda é sinal de inteligência. Ler carta capital, gostar de marginal é pré-requisito pra ser intelectual. Cuspir na classe média, militar na Wikipédia. Ser idiota útil é apenas ser normal. Viver de coitadismo é empreendedorismo. Pra ser canonizado é só ter pós em terrorismo. Meu Deus, tá tudo errado, tá tudo ao contrário. Já passou da hora de deixar de ser otário. Você quer que eu me cale, mas eu não vou me calar. Quanto mais você tentar, mais alto eu vou gritar. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação. Pra que ficar sentado que nem burro esperando? Se bem aí do seu lado tem alguém que tá esquerdando. Todo mundo já conhece o discurso eloquente. É tudo produto de uma mente delinquente. A gente só trabalha pra sustentar canalha. Tá mais do que na hora de tentar essa gentalha. Aqui com os reaças a conversa é real. Não tem essa de utopia, nem verba de estatal. Golpista é o caralho, puta que eu pariu. A gente quer justiça pra mudar o Brasil. O país também é meu, o país também é nosso. Se você pode gritar, então eu também posso. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação.
É uma confusão mental terrível no Brasil. Mais de 40 anos que o que se escreve no Brasil não reflete nada da realidade brasileira de hoje. O pessoal só escreve, sabe o que? Os nossos escritores estão escrevendo sobre a ditadura militar. Então é um sinal de alienação total. E a gente é obrigado a discutir com esse tipo de entidades suínas. Então tá lá o brasileiro, vai de tanga, de pé no chão e levando chumbo, porra. Ora, puta que pariu, o que esse cara tem na cabeça, meu Deus do céu? Larga do meu saco, porra.
Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão. É tudo picareta, roubando a nação. Olavo tem razão, Olavo tem razão.
So this is the band of the REAC, a band of Brazilian students of Olavo de Carvalho. I a student of Olavo too, and he began the transmissions of Throat Speak with the a short prayer. He invoked the presence of the Father Pio and the Immaculate Virgin Mary, and they will sing do the same. No? We invoke the presence of the Father Pio and the Saint Augustine and of the Holy Virgin Mary, for don't happen no injustice in this show. Spirit, our Lord, our actions, for you begin and for you end all these things what we go made, for the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Holy Mother of God, pray for us. So this bandits react made this honor to Olavo de Carvalho, who is the philosopher, professor of many Brazilians, and changed many things in the world with your teachings about socialism, philosophy, theology. And he said, don't be theology, but he converted me and converted many Brazilians. He's a good teacher and uh, a good Christian too. And so Olavo teach us, students of the course of a seminar of philosophy, about the Foro de São Paulo, and the Truth Speak too. It's a open radio on YouTube of Olavo de Carvalho and the Mídia Sem Máscara. You can listen the programs of Olavo, Truth Speak show. And for São Paulo is a initiative político of Lula da Silva. Is the Brazilian president today, but in really is not president in Brazil because the elections of 2022 was frauded, and the legitimate president of Brazil it's Jair Messias Bolsonaro. Is not political this matter, but is historical. This is the story of Brazil. I give to you a lecture about the story of Brazil and the crimes of the criminal organization, what control the Brazil. The Foro de São Paulo, Olavo de Carvalho teach this to us, and he reviewed the aspects of this criminal organization, who is a concentration of the socialist politicians of Latin America and the Caribbean, who is an initiative of Fidel Castro and Lula in 1990. This is a picture of Lula da Silva and Fidel Castro, the dictator of Cuba. Fidel Castro is a dictator and a terrorist too, because he made a war against the United States, made a war to control the power in Cuba, and after gets the power in Cuba, used this island, to attack the United States. And he threatened the United States with the try of implemented nuclear ogivas in Cuba. Fidel Castro stayed in relationship with Gorbachev in Soviet Union. So it's a war of Soviet Union against United States, but the front face is Cuba. And Fidel Castro is a terrorist dangerous who threats put nuclear ogivas to attack United States. But United States made deals with Soviet Union, who is the real enemy of United States, and Fidel Castro was removed off the table of negotiation. And the Sulfur embargo, who destroyed the island and created dictatorship and destroyed the life of the Cubans. Fidel Castro gets the power against the politician. It's a general who governed Cuba this time, Khalid Baptiste. And he is a general. He said he's a dictator, but I don't know if this is true, because he stay combating the terrorists of Cuba, who is the Fidel Castro, Che Guevara, these people who stay fighting against the state, against the army. And in middle of this conflict, had so many misinformation and defamation and calumnies. I believe it's calumny of the socialists. in this conflict. It's very common, it's normal. You say the bad of your enemy, for demonize your enemy. So had this relationship of Lula intrinsic with Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro is a narco-terrorist leader. Of the initiative for São Paulo, he is the commandant of these generals like Hugo Chavez, Lula don't, but Hugo Chavez and other narco-terrorists like members of FARC, Daniel Ortega, who is a narco-terrorist in Portugal. You small countries maybe I'll take it for the plantation of cocaine. And Nicaragua we stay very close of the Castro brothers. And this picture was taken in Cuba in the 40th meeting of the Foro de São Paulo. Is very symbolic because it's the two leaders together. Fidel Castro is the leader of the guerrilla in Latin America, and Lula is the leader of the politics and the finance and giving support political, like juridical defense, the attorneys, the politicians, the press, making this organization primary look to the people a good thing. And Lula, in the elections of 2000, he denied open transmission TV in the press of Boris Casoy. He denied the creation for São Paulo. The Boris Casoy asking for him about the Fort São Paulo, and he denied the existence of the Fort São Paulo. And he stayed years before in the Fort São Paulo with the chief, chief of Fort São Paulo. It's very controversial. We don't understand for what the creator of a forum political international denied the existence in the pre-campaign of dispute to presidents of Brazil. But Lula denied this. He stayed on the internet, in the press. Lula denied. And in the final speech of Fidel Castro, in the Fort São Paulo, in the meeting in Cuba, Fidel Castro said about this initiative for São Paulo. He gave the ideological theory back this crime organization. He said, when we talk about unity and integration, this initiative is for transform Latin America and Caribbean in a structure like the Soviet Union impair the construction of Soviet Union and the other countries, no? And the design of the Soviet Union, the Russia, today's Russia, in the past Soviet Union, with these countries dominated by Soviet Union. Soviet Union invaded Stalin, Lenin, invaded these countries and dominated by the war of manner bellico, the way bellico. And these don't prosper because the war cost so many, and the Soviet Union killing many people, and this don't continue advancing, you know? And the Soviet Union fall in 1990 with the Berlin Wall fall, and this structure of Soviet Union was copied to try implementation in Latin America. Fidel Castro talk more about this integration. In my humble opinion, awareness of the need for the integration unity in Latin America. And talk about too against the imperialism. Who is the United States in the first person in these times, because USA is the principal adversary of the socialists in our world these times. But in the past is United Kingdom. No? But now United Kingdom is the idea of imperialists. And the son of United Kingdom is the United States, who made the revolution, don't socialist revolution, but a republican revolution, and transform out of the empire of Britain and transform the United States in a republic. And United States passing the power of the empire of United Kingdom and turn to be the first country son of United Kingdom, the imperialists, called by the socialists, of the first power, Christianity, who is the ideology who control these countries free, no? Who is the countries of the West, who grow up in the beliefs of the liberty, the freedom, the values of Christianity. And the socialists don't believe on this. The beliefs of the socialists, same he said, then said don't have beliefs, it's impossible. Any man had the beliefs. You believe go wake up tomorrow. You believe your boss go pay you. You believe had food on the freezer. No, any man believes. So the socialist believes other things, don't perhaps then believes, because the man it's a intrinsic thing who believes. He believes the man is God. The man can make all things. And the Christians don't believe this. And the Christians believes the man is not God, because the God is other person. And this ideology is very conflictant, no? Because it's like God fighting against the man, and the difference causes all these problems. Like Stalin believes be God, the Mao Zedong believes be God too, and now Xi Jinping believes be God in China, and create a system who slavery many people in China. And this is the model of the Latin America. Latin America, no, I'm sorry, of Soviet Union. And the countries what Soviet Union invaded and expropriated these countries, and they get riches and construct a system economic and don't produce more, but is very expensive because the army costs, no? And these systems broke. Don't advance militarily. At that time, he can't invade other countries, and in this military failure, your economy broke. It's like barbarians in the past, no? I grow up by the sword. But sometimes this don't works more. Economical bélico, and then fall. And the Soviet Union fall in the marked by the Berlin fall, Berlin Wall fall, 1990, and was created by the socialists. This new model, but in Latin America and Caribbean. The Latin American Caribbean had the same aspects of these invasions of the countries, but it's different. It's by the association political. Like had a country be expropriated, like Brazil. Brazil stay financing all this structure of all these small countries in Latin America. Brazil is poor because Brazil financing all these countries. The people of Brazil is poor because financing all these other countries in Latin America and the Caribbean by initiative of Lula and not of the Brazilian people. The Brazilian people want had a life like United States with freedom, with right to property, and Lula stolen this money of BNDES in schemes of corruption. He had many schemes of Brazil of corruption of Lula involved, but Lula created many had a big structure for protecting himself. He pays silence of many people, of press, of politicians, with this money stolen of the state, of the government, and put the key man in the charges important for maintain he free or uh, in a important place of power like the president of Brazil. He nominated the judges of Supreme Court who remove him is very important is because the Supreme Court removed Lula of the jail and the Supreme Court don't have jurisdiction for me this. So the Supreme Court acting criminally, flagrantly for remove Lula of the jail. And after this, the same is a judge nominated by Lula control the elections in Brazil too. The system electoral was administered by a president who is one minister of Supreme Court. And this minister of Supreme Court, the majority was nominated by Lula and your allies, like Dilma. And the Supreme Court of Brazil, it's a very important member of this story because Lula nominated them and then acting like accomplices and members of this crime organization. In the Foro de São Paulo, who is this initiative of Lula and the narco-terrorist Fidel Castro, review this dream of this connection of the Latin American Caribbean. Stay right here, la nueva etapa de la lucha por la integración latinoamericana, the integration of Latin American Caribbean. And this is the idea fundamental of Fidel Castro. He talked this about integration 2 times in the speech final of the Foro de São Paulo in 2004. In 2007, had this idea of integration of Latin America and these politicians who works inside of this forum. And this forum, it's a crime organization because had members, notorious members of narco-terrorist factions like ELNL, FARC, had the other terrorists who committed the crime of kidnapping in many countries, like Mir had a notorious case in Brazil, who kidnapped a billionaire, a very rich man of Brazil, called Abilio Diniz. This man was kidnapped by the Mir, and the Mir was arrested by the police. And in this place had material of propaganda political of Lula, with the face of Lula. And this faction criminal who kidnapped this millionaire give the testimony in the press who then mistaken kidnapped the Abilio Diniz because this dirty the image of Labour Party in Brazil, showing totally association with Lula in the Labour Party. Is this case of the Foro de São Paulo, is the narco-terrorists, kidnappers, FARC, for example, is the narco-terrorist of the worst what had in the Foro de São Paulo. Is in Foro de São Paulo, is a member who created the Foro de São Paulo, and they go out of Foro de São Paulo in the 2008 because it's very bad to the public image. You had the organization political, inside had narco-terrorists. So then out of the photo, but continue the relation by your agents, like the Hugo Chaves. Hugo Chaves had contact with the FARC. He confessed this. He said, I'm meeting the second chief of the FARC in the Foro de São Paulo, and the FARC anarcho-terrorism, and the Foro de São Paulo was created by Lula and Fidel Castro. And Hugo Chavez, he's the president of Venezuela, and is the anarcho-terrorist too, had contact with FARC, and is close friend of Hugo Chavez, of Fidel Castro, and Lula. And all these presidents of Latin America, Evo Morales of Bolivia, it's the third most producer of cocaine of the world. This Rafael Correa of Peru is the second most producer of cocaine of the world. This man of the left, I don't know who is the middle. I believe is Argentina or Colombia, maybe Colombia. Colombia is the most producer of cocaine in the world. Hugo Chavez is the close friend of Lula and Hugo Chavez. And they had Venezuela, who is the country, I believe, principal narco-terrorist country of the Latin American Caribbean, because made this work of logistics of drugs, and had this relation open with narco-terrorists. Hugo Chavez had relation with the narco-terrorists of FARC, and Maduro, his successor, had contact with, is a member, is leader of the Cartel Los Soles, who is a cartel, is an organization of smuggler of drugs. No? He's a narco-terrorist, owner of a house of cocaine. This picture, this man of the right side is Daniel Ortega, who had a country. The country stay dominated by the plantation of cocaine. It's a small country, and you saw the size in the map about the plantation is almost totally the country, plantation of cocaine. Who go to the Mexico, because Lula financing this infrastructure of logistics of smuggling of drugs of Latin America, with ports, with airports, and the roadways. In Venezuela, it's very important because he constructed too the infrastructure of the construction of boats, a shipyard in boats, and this boat was defeated by USA Army in the Mar of Caribbean, transporting these drugs. And this shipyard was constructed by money of BNDES, which is the Bank of Brazil, in the hands of Lula. It's very flagrant the crimes, no? The crime organization. And this picture shows the Fidel Castro and Raul Castro meeting the Khrushchev, who is the Soviet Union government regime, and Fidel Castro and Raul Castro making these works of intermediate in the war against the United States, the front face, the proxy against USA. Here is, I believe, in Gorbachev, it's the time of the Russians, not more Soviet Union. Change the things a little. I believe the Soviet Union had opened this war against the United States, but when came the Russia, this turned be minor. Maybe had rationaries of the Soviet Union maintain this dispute emotional, but in the politics is not smart. You stay fighting against the country more powerful of the world. So I believe this change of the hands, like Mao Zedong had a bad relation with Stalin after the the gritty hunger in China because the All Communistic Party began guilty Mao Tse-tung about this great harvest, and Stalin used this for get this food for the Russian because these regimes of socialists based in bellical war don't work so long term because you need advance and the war costs so many, costs lives, costs iron, and technology, many things, and it's a very expensive regime or method of politics. So the Soviet Union stopped with this change of the strategy, and China turned to be the biggest threat socialist in the world. Is the biggest power socialist in the world, China now, of the Mao Zedong. The CCP control China with Iron Hand too, is a socialist dictatorship, and control the people of the horrible manner because it's a dictatorship and the people is controlled by the with high technology in low level with the behavior in social media, your speeches, your behavior of what you buy, what who you what you talk, uh, who you talk. It's a Orwellian dystopia, 1984 of George Orwell. The state control, the Big Brother control all things. China is very close of this with this advanced technology of computers, artificial intelligence, data science, network, supercomputers, clusters, cameras, drones, recognition of faces, many things. No? And use this for control the people. And this is a real state happens in China. And the people who don't is friend of this socialist regime, who is the atheist, who believes be God, and against the people who don't believe be God, as the conflict is imminent and was delivered to concentration camps. And concentration camps in China is very problematic. I had very testimonies about abuses in China, like the harvesting organs in China, who stay documented at tribunals in the United Kingdom, made the complaints of testimonies of victims of these concentration camps, who give these testimonies. People who buy these organs and discover is organ of prison of conscience in China, and this tribunal condemned China by these crimes of in this tribunal condemned this the regime of CCP, and had other crimes like prisoners was raped collectively by the police officers of this criminal state, harvesting organs, slavery labor, traffic of sexual slaves, women and kids. Então, so China, it's a very problematic country for our world, in specific to the West, because had this this ideology, these beliefs of the Socialist Party, the leader of Socialist Party is God, or the human is God, and the Christians who believes don't be God. And this book is very important. Olavo de Carvalho, my teacher, give many references to us, your students. And this book talk about the reality of the Latin America and the narco-terrorism. The Red Cocaine is a book written by the officer of, I believe, the day, a thing like this of the officer of Department of Combat of Drugs and Intelligence too. And he tell the story of the chemical warfare. The chemical warfare is a strategy used by the CCP to combat your enemies. It's in this book, this. We go read it now. This. The contents of this book is the Chinese initiative, who is the Mao Zedong used the opium, the market of opium, he dominated the market of opium, and used against your enemies, called of the imperialists, who is the people who had the influence of the West, is the people who it's friend of the West, the represented by the Emperor of Britain, the United Kingdom. United Kingdom is the imperialists, and the your allies and the people who support the ideas, the ideology, the beliefs of the United Kingdom, who is the Christianity in this time. And the atheism is totally against the Christianity. And the second topic is the Soviet decision. Soviet decision is when the Soviets get this strategy of China of use the narcotics like instrument of war and put your intelligence of military, because China in this time it's use the guerrilla, like the war of China is of the soldiers in the middle of the jungle and the camp, and Soviet Union transformed this, specialized, put more technology, more intelligence, and create a department of drugs. What is today a system more like a business, no? Like the Soviet Union put your intelligence and transforming a department, what can be transformed to in a business. No? What we know now is more close of the reality of the narco-terrorists and the crime organizations who is smuggling drugs. It's a business, no? Who is equal a department of army, because nature, the technology was developed by the army and it transferred for the cities. This happens with the internet, for example. Begin with an initiative of the army and the universities of USA, and after this transfer for the population. But in the principle, it's a weapon of telecommunication to you can win wars. And this technology, what this input of intelligence of Soviet Union in this idea, this scheme of CCP, transform the manner of work the opium. And in the third chapter is building a Latin America drug network. Put this model worked for the elaborated by Soviet Union, and transfer this department construct ended finished to Latin America. And Latin America used this, like Cuba. Cuba used the techniques of war of China, the CCP, to take the power of Cuba. Fidel Castro, Che Guevara, and the other leaders of these terrorists use techniques of China, who is called guerrilla, to take the power of the Iceland. And it is other example of this is the Vietnam. Vietnam, China had influence of the dictator of Vietnam, Pol Pot. Pol Pot, obeying orders of Mao Zedong, who is your mentor, assassinated 3 million of people in your country. This almost ended the population of Vietnam. And the war of Vietnam against the United States, United States was defeated. The United States abandoned the campaign in Vietnam because the Viet Cong controlled the camp in the area of war using techniques of China, the CCP, who is the guerrilla, is the fighting the camp, fighting in the jungle, is technique of China, and use two other technique of China, who is the chemical warfare, who is the abuse of drugs. So the soldiers of United States living in the Vietnam, Bangkok, turning BVCated in opium, and viciated in opium and living with the prostitutes. So the soldiers of United States was totally dismobilized of the will of the war, totally incapacitated, totally mentally, emotionally, rational, confused by the abuse of drugs, and had a relation with these prostitutes of Vietnam, remove our energy. So these prostitutes, I believe, is used by the CCP to demobilize the soldiers, to remove your strength and your will of fight in Vietnam. And it was flagrated many soldiers of the United States saying don't understand for what is they fighting. So the campaign of the demobilized the USA soldier army stay happens, and had other front of this campaign of drugs, this war chemical. He's inside of United States by influence, I believe, the Soviet Union, by spies inside of the country, had spies in diverse areas, many areas, like spies in the journalism, inside of the diplomacy, actors, spies. So it's people of influence saying, talking, communist propaganda, and demobilize these people with drugs and socialist propaganda. And the hippies say demobilize the support of population side of the country. And the army, without support of population, naturally end their campaign. So is this close what happened? This campaign of drugs in Vietnam and this campaign of drugs inside of United States, who is a strategy of CCP. And the Soviet Union transformed dispute or intelligence military and transform in a department. And the department is what happened in Enterprise 2 and transforming naturally the market of drugs what we had today. Who is the I read a book at a time about of a specialist in crime organization, he said he had two kind of crime organization. Had the familiar, the mafias, and the kind of business, who is this like this department. It's two kinds. And this book talk about this, about the Chinese initiative, the beginning of the warfare by chemicals, the uh, the the uh, Soviet Union made better this market, putting intelligence military, and other other agents began working this department of drugs, who is the Latin America. And this book say this in 1928, Mao Zedong, the Chinese communist leader, instructed one of his trusted subordinates, Deng Xiaolin, I began cultivating opium on grand scale. Later would speak the use of opium against the imperialists. Is the this war of narcotics against the United Kingdom and the USA. The Soviets decided to compete to transform this initiative of China more more smart with military intelligence, with the nature of the drug business types inequality, means of production, organization of distribution, drug marketing buyers, security, infiltration of existing production networks. Uh, Communication with drug organizations, how to pass intelligent information, and how to recruit information sources. And building the Latin America drug network. Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia, it's a front face of the Soviet Union. The Czechoslovaks staying in Cuba, working with Fidel Castro. And many Russian disguised of Czechoslovak work with the Cuba, like a front face, a proxy of this fight of the Soviet Union in the United States. And is the bankrupt of Cuba because after United States gets Soviet Union to discuss a deal, and this deal stay the abandon of Cuba because Fidel Castro want put nuclear ogivas in Cuba and destroy Cuba totally because the United States embargo the Cuba, and the Cuba stay totally economical failure, no, and bankrupt. In the summer of 1960, just a year and a half after, Fidel Castro seized the power, using these techniques of guerrilla of China, developed rather than the Soviet Union. And it is this story: the Soviet Union with Czechoslovaks to administrate Cuba. And the talk is with helping obtain the necessary equipment, production of cocaine will begin within 6 months. The distribution network will be operation less than 6 months. Initial distribution would be into the United States and Canada. The target is United States, Canada. United States, Canada is the United Kingdom, and the distribution would extend Europe, who is the West and the powers Christian, who is totally naturally control the beliefs of the societies, who is the atheism, what they mean is God. And this is the act of the Foro de São Paulo, who reviewed this relation of FARC, Colombia, FARC, the paramilitary narco-terrorist organization, and the Labour Party, who is the crime organization of Brazil, but it's a political party in Brazil, a political party of Lula. This revealed the connections of this crime organization, political of Brazil, and the narco-terrorists of Colombia. And Hugo Chavez, who is a close friend of Lula, said, no, the leader, the second in the command of FARC in the Foro de São Paulo. And Hugo Chavez is a close friend of Lula and the Fidel Castro. Hugo Chavez is the president of Venezuela. Foro de São Paulo control this initiative of creating the Soviet Union, connecting all countries of Latin America and all countries of Caribbean, and creating this Soviet Union controlled by the socialists. And Lula had financing all this with money stolen of BNDES and the money of Brazilians, and financing all these socialists in all these countries. And China is involved too in the Foro de São Paulo. So in the past, the Soviet Union used Cuba to attack United States, but don't work. And China now use it's like the Soviet Union of these days, and use the Latin American Caribbean like your new Cuba to attack United States, but don't with nuclear ogivas, but with the war of narcotics, the chemical warfare. All these narco-terrorists, that campaign of Vietnam was transferred to Latin American Caribbean, and is the front of, like the Vietnam stay in this place now, attack United States with this dump of cocaine, and had so many studies of the roots of cocaine in Latin American Caribbean, and review the route to United States. Like the United States is the principal target of these narco-terrorists. And these narco-terrorists, they are involved in this crime organization Foro de São Paulo, founded by Lula and Fidel Castro. And the laws of BNDES is public, stay in the internet, and the Lula made these deals and stay on the internet in the BNDES.gov, BNDES.gov.br, and the consult of operation of foreign and engineering. It's about infrastructure in the foreign countries. What is the branch of Odebrecht, who is a corrupt enterprise of a close friend of Lula? What give to the Department of Justice in the United States information how works this crime organization of Lula and this owner of the Odebrecht. Odebrecht created these workers in these countries and is infrastructure like ports, airports, and the roadways with systems of logistics. And systems of logistics is the systems of what the smugglers use for transporting the drugs. So is focusing in this transfer and this smuggling of drugs and cocaine in Latin America, of Latin America, Caribbean to United States, Europe, and United Kingdom. The finances of Angola, who is the country, one of the countries more corrupt of the world, is Angola. The dictator of Angola made a deal with Lula, and Lula assigned a transfer of $2 billion to this corrupt and dictator, Eduardo dos Santos, president of Angola. This man stayed involved in this scheme of Lula of deviate money from BNDES. Eudora is the woman more rich of the continent of African continent. This man stayed 37 years in the power, and your daughter is the most rich woman of the continent. And Angola is very poor, you know. It's clear this money is of the corruption and came from these schemes, corruption of Lula too, because had the document assigned of Lula and this corrupt president of Angola, this dictator, 37 years in the power, of $2.2 billion. And Lula had a scheme with Euronefo and Odebrecht in Angola to get this money of BNDES and transfer again to Lula and your family, your mafia, who is the nephew of Lula, the Tainguara, had a investigation, the Congress, but Lula paid bribe for many deputies, senators, and the judges for silence these cases. These investigations don't continue. The Lula by the right, the key people, and this investigation don't continue. And Lula gave money to infrastructure of Cuba, Argentina too. Argentina is symbolical because I stay in Argentina, because I was persecuted by Lula and Fidel Castro don't, but the narco dictators, the terrorists, because I began to review these crimes of Lula in Brazil. I was persecuted in Brazil, then try to kill me, and I began complaining this on my social media. I don't journalist before. I'm a developer and I go into it of teacher, of kids, pedagogue, working with pedagogy. Because I had these lectures with my teacher of philosophy, and I believe can be teacher too. But begins these persecutions, and I begin made work of journalist because I don't receive the help what I want, because I believe the authority go solve this. Huh? It's very absurd. And don't the states they persecute me in Brazil, and the authority of Argentina too deny documents to me, because the politicians of Argentina is staying for São Paulo, and is close friends of Lula. It's political allies of Lula. It's socialists too, involved in this crime organization for São Paulo, who is involved with narco-terrorism. And this is so many grave, these people for assassinating me, what then try many times, is nothing for hiding all these conspiracy, all these crimes. We stay talking about million of lives, trillion of budgets, budget. It's a very big thing. So these politicians try many things to silence me, and they stay writing the computer of the library. I stay recording this lecture of history of I don't know my biography here of these events, and I show historically in the matters of the journal about these elements who persecuted me, like Lula, Kirchner, and CCP, Chinese Communist Party. And Lula stay very unsatisfied with me because I stay reviewing all these crimes of corruption, like he financing all these narco-terrorists in Latin America. And he had more countries here in this list, like Ecuador, who is the one most producer of cocaine and distribute and deliver of the world too. Peru is the second most producer of cocaine of the world. Colombia receive money of BNDES too. but don't stay in this list because the government of Brazil hide information. This is a site what is by by law needs transparency. It's a bank public, needs transparency. You don't have here the loans to Colombia because Colombia had this problem with biggest planter volcano of the world, and it is a narco state almost, and had the FARC, and this go review all relation of Lula and these narco terrorists, and this site, this is the page of transparency of where stay this money, and it don't appear this data about loans to Colombia, and many others don't appear. Dominican Republic is a hub, a counter core who received these drugs of Venezuela, Colombia, and sent to United States and Europe. United States is very problematic for this terrorism because United States had capital punishment to traffic of drugs, and traffic of drugs is a problem low what it really happens. It's a narco terrorism and a conspiracy to a war, a chemical war against United States. Is so many worst. If you had capital punishment to smuggler of drugs, so much more to narco terrorists, no? So is this. And Venezuela is the country narco terrorist principal in Latin America and the Caribbean because Lula made slogans to this country, and this country is a dictatorship declared for many countries, and the citizens said it's a narco terrorist dictatorship, and Lula give money from Venezuela create a shipyard. Shipyard is the place where you fabricate and construct boats and ships. And the USA Army of United States defeat so many boats charged of cocaine came from Venezuela and came off of these shipyards. No, shipyards construct these boats, and this money of Brazil was directed for this narco state. This narco state used this money for constructing these ships who transfer drugs to United States. So it's totally flagrated and revealed total involvement of Venezuela and Brazil and Lula and Maduro and this conspiracy and the killing of the population in the United States by abuse of drugs in the United States is of 100,000 people for a year. It's like a genocide using the chemical warfare. It's a genocide. It's a war against the country more powerful of the world. And this crime, the punishment is capital punishment. Issue Lula and Dilma and the minister of Lula, I believe is the director of BNS2 in a time specific, giving billion of dollars, no, billion of reais to BRICS, who is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. China is stay involved with Lula in this Foro de São Paulo, like Soviet Union in the past give intelligence army to Cuba. China give intelligence army to Foro de São Paulo countries. And heading the act of Foro de São Paulo, this connection, these speeches about against the imperialism and the integration econômico, Caixa, inteligência, army, all these things in the acts of Fort São Paulo. And the BNDES give to the world in these 35 years send $100 billion in 35 years. The budget of BNDES is around $300 billion. It's so many money for constructing this infrastructure of narco-terrorism. And this is a picture of a ship of United States, of a army, I believe so, rastreating these boats in the Caribbean Ocean, Caribbean Sea, of the Republican Dominican and arrows to United States. And the Republic Dominican received this came from Venezuela. And after this to up to other countries. These narco-terrorists received this money, these infrastructures. These infrastructures was constructed by Odebrecht. Odebrecht received money of BNDES and loans and received workers in countries who receive money of these BNDES and create a flow of money, like BNDES give money to countries like the Venezuela, and Odebrecht get this work in Venezuela, construct this shipyard, and this shipyard paid with money of BNDES, returning back to Odebrecht, and Odebrecht distribute part of this money to the corrupt politicians like Lula, socialist politics of Venezuela, and corrupt politics of Brazil too. Peru happened this, the president of Peru get money of BNDES to make the works in Peru, and in close deals, out prepare of BNDES these deals of the government, the who will deliver, provide services, provide work, and is closed with this cartel of enterprise corrupt friends of Lula, like Odebrecht is the most famous. And the president of Peru get this money of BNDES, made the work by Odebrecht in Peru. Lula stay in this work together, and after this, Odebrecht spread the money for the corrupt politicians involved in this scheme. And the Marcelo Odebrecht, the chief of this enterprise, confess, give 300 million reais to Lula and the Labor Party. And this complaint was denied by the Supreme Court because Supreme Court was nominated in majority by Lula and Dilma. You realize, Henrique Cardoso, Lula and Dilma. Nominate 8, 9 judges of the Supreme Court, what had 11. And the majority ever give sentences who benefit Lula, because this Supreme Court is very political and corrupt, and like it happens in Venezuela, and it still happens in Argentina too, because the Venezuela, Hugo Chavez entered the power and made a strategy of nominating many judges to this Supreme Court, and made politics by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court persecuted political opposition, and don't it was more the war political happened in the Congress. No, the Congress fighting, in the Supreme Court fighting too, in the side of the leftists, the socialists. Is the corruption of the Supreme Court. And this happens in Venezuela, and the Venezuela turn view what Venezuela is today, and Brazil happens this too, and stay begin turn to be worst, and Argentina. I saw information about Cristina Kirchner nominee so many uh, judges to courts here too. Is the same pattern in Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina. I believe this can be controlled by other like China, CCP, because CCP can use the constitution, put in your supercomputers, and the supercomputers give the sentences to these judges corrupt, and these judges made the sentences in the country. It's a manual of a dictatorship global by the tribunals. And the tribunals is very logical. They use the sentences had logical in the sentences. It's you can create this in computers, like artificial intelligence give sentences. You can centralize all the decision of the world if you made a network. And CCP had this network, had these cables, intercontinental submarines in all world of the CCP in the by the enterprise highway, who is a corrupt enterprise who works inside the system of CCP, because the enterprise of East China who works to CCP too. Principal the biggest enterprise like Huawei, Alibaba, all these enterprise. Like our system socialist is the state, and the enterprise, the oligarchy of enterprise, the enterprise who is friends of the state. And the oligarchy of China works this. The chief finance officer of Huawei was arrested in the United States by espionage, and it was deported to China after escape to Canada. And China entered a fight juridical with the United States and the United Kingdom, and they arrested 2 Canadians in China, and they made a change of prisoners. Totally crime, because the United States is processing she by espionage, and she escaped to Canada, and CCP entering a fight against the United Kingdom about change of prisoners. Arrested 2 men for don't without motivation, only for change this woman, because this woman had many secrets of espionage, and of the third person, who is the USA, who wants to arrest this woman, don't United Kingdom. And it's a very busy problem. It's very, you saw many things strange and criminal activity, And this complaint of Odebrecht, Marcelo Odebrecht, made a deal with United States, and the pay of a fine is 30.5 billion, and assume the guilt of this crime. It's a deal of United States, Switzerland, and Republic Dominican. 3 countries what this man frauded. And in Brazil, this complaint was approved for the judges what Lula nominated. These judges cancel all these testimonies, saying stay evaluated in $30.5 billion. These judges don't care, because these judges, it's the accomplices of Lula. Lula nominated these accomplices, these judges, and the judges cancel all these testimonies and the proofs. But United States get the same proofs and create a case who is evaluated in fines by Marcelo Odebrecht in $3 billion. It's so many money. It's a big case of corruption. And these judges of Brazil remove the sentences what Lula was sentenced. Lula was sentenced in first, second, and the third instances by judges different in all these three instances. These instances judge people, civil people. The Supreme Court only judge the politicians, the ministers, the president, the deputies and senators. And Lula is not president in this time. Lula is a civil. And this Supreme Court can't get the jurisdiction of this case. They can't get this case. And the Supreme Court of Minor Criminal is stolen the jurisdiction of these other three stages of sentence of tribunals, stolen your jurisdiction, cancel all these sentences and proofs, and get the jurisdiction, cancel all proofs, and they remove Lula of the jail. Because he is judges nominated by Lula. All other these judges is not nominated by Lula. And the Supreme Court, yes. And then made this attack against Brazil. A jurídico ataque. Fraud, remove the crime of the jail and then control to the tribunal electoral. And put Lula on the election and after in the charge of presidents, because then be the members of this crime organization involved in these cases of this $80 billion, maybe trillion of Brazil money for these years, and this thing of 30 years of socialism in Brazil. And this is other proof. It's this structure of the VAT money in Odebrecht. The director of this department of bribes creating Odebrecht to return back this money for these corrupts after receiving these loans and benéis, confess paid in this department around 10 billion reais. Between 2006 and 2014. It's other proof, other testimony, and these judges cancel. The value of these testimonies, these complaints is around billions, and these judges cancel all things. People think is this for today, and God bless you.
Live in 5 seconds.